Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'll tell you every week, I don't take days for granted. I don't take life for granted. I don't take you for granted. So I am happy and grateful for you. And I'm going to remind you every week that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. You're created out of greatness, so it makes you great. You are purpose. You're not looking for purpose. You are purpose. What we do in this journey is we figure out, or we're looking to see where our purpose fits in the season. Okay? So meal prep Monday, pardon my delay this morning. It is literally Monday morning. Sister, I don't know. I don't know if it's the weather, but I'm just delayed. But it's okay because it's the right time. So forgive me. I am again literally just running behind this morning, but we will not belabor the time because I'm still not gonna go past 10:30. So it's Meal Prep Monday, and I want to tell you what's been on my heart. Um, this past week, I don't know, it just with between different conversations and just even things I'm experiencing myself. I've been thinking about that saying of hurting people hurt people. And it probably started with last week when my dear sister spoke and she brought up about insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different end result. But anyway, so I've just been in this different space and just with different things people are going through. And hurting people hurt people. And it's the truth, right? But I started thinking about why. Because if we're honest, we all hurt one another. There's no person that does not hurt a person, even if we do it out of ignorance. And what I mean by out of ignorance, I don't mean in a mean, cocky way. I'm talking about because we don't recognize what we're doing is hurting someone and they don't say anything. That's what I mean by out of ignorance. Sometimes we're offending or sometimes we're doing things and we don't even know because the person never tells us what we're doing is offensive. It doesn't even have to be a bad thing. Okay? My dad used to give someone roses every month because it was significant for a date in their life. And then at 2 decades later, you tell my dad, oh, by the way, I don't even like roses. What the what? Okay. Sometimes we do things just from not knowing. All right. So I started thinking about it, and this is what I want us to understand. The reason why that is actually a true statement is because wounds can't stay silent. All right. When we're wounded, when we have places of trauma, when we have arrested development. What do I mean by arrested development? I mean that we're spirit with a soul wrapped in this flesh. And when this journey begins to hit us, and at different ages and stages, things begin to happen to us, we have arrested development. Okay. We don't develop from our true self. So there are places in your soul where you're still a kid. If you were hurt at the age of 3, then there was an arrested development, okay? I hope you all understand what I'm saying. So even though I'm 53, 5'6", there are areas in my life that are still 8 and maybe 2 feet tall. Okay? So we have to understand that wounds can't stay silent forever. So here's the thing. We've got to start looking at this to understand that pain, when we can start looking at pressure points, trauma points, trigger points, places where development has been arrested in us, it can explain our behavior. We can start to understand why we respond and or react the way that we do. Okay? Like I said, so I'm not opposed to the comment or the statement of hurting people hurt people because it's a fact. But I do feel like if we cannot become spiritually mature to look at ourselves, to walk out the maturation of it, then what happens is the enemy can take it. What does Satan do? What does the prince of air do? He takes facts and he taints it. He takes facts and he perverts it. So we set ourselves up to be used, abused. So here's the thing. I need you to know that even though pain can explain our behavior, it does not define your true identity. It does not define your destiny. It does not define who you truly are. You may be mean as a rattlesnake when certain things happen or certain things come up, but that you are not a rattlesnake. You are not mean. You are not disrespectful. You are not disgruntled. You are not a hater. You are not jealous. You are not envious. You are none of those things. How can I say it with assurance? Because that is not your true identity. God did not create us to be fearful. God did not create us to be mean. God did not create us to be jealous. God did not create us to hurt one another. We are created out of love, period. Who are you? You are love. You are loved and you give love. So anytime there is a place where we are not walking in that, we're not in our true self. So we've got to be able to go in and recognize where this pain, where this trigger, where this trauma is coming from, because it's not who you are. Okay? Now, where do these things usually come from? First of all, we know rejection, betrayal, shame, trauma. Trauma, when there's trauma, trauma begins to train your nervous system. Okay? This is why we have that whole fight or flight. Trauma begins to train you to be defensive. Trauma begins to train you to be guarded. Trauma begins because why? You don't want to hurt. Listen, that's what survival mode is. Okay? When things happen, we go into survival mode. Why? Because you got to survive. Okay? This ain't deep. We got to survive. Who wants to walk around every day and be willingly hurt? All right. So, what happens though is if we don't learn how to check it, our hearts will become hardened. We'll walk around in a spirit of defense or a spirit of offense. We either defensive or we offended. It don't matter what happens. You know, someone can try to be nice to you. You're guarded. Someone can be nice to you and say something. You're offended. Like, what are you talking about? I just said like red looks good on you. So what are you trying to say? No other color does? Dude, like get your whole life together. But we begin to be in this survival mode that we can't even receive from our true self because we become so guarded. All right? So here's the thing. Why am I bringing this up? Because I need you to know we're all emotionally wounded. There's not one person that is not emotionally wounded. Now, what makes the difference is the emotionally wounded person is ready to recognize so that they can be the best versions of them unapologetically. Why? Because when we begin to when we're willing to look at these things, we're willing to submit to Jehovah God. We're willing to submit to the Holy Spirit that leads, guides, and directs us. And when we're doing this, when we're willing to be mature enough to look at these things, it's going to birth out gratitude. It's going to birth out humility. It's going to start dropping the guards down, because then we become in our true identity. We become kingdom citizens. We're learning to live out of the kingdom even though we're here on earth. This is good to me. Listen. All right. So when someone's emotionally wounded, the brain and the nervous system begins protecting instead of connecting. It's like, this is why certain people just can't connect. So if you're one that you just can't make friends, you can't keep friends, you feel like you can't connect. Everybody walks around now, they want community, but are you community? Like, can you be healthy community? Connecting to you, is that going to hurt me or is it going to enhance me? When we move out of the emotional wounds, we cannot connect. All right? Why can't we? Because we will attack before we become hurt. We will withdraw before being rejected. We will become controlling because we don't want to feel unsafe. So you just want to control everything. I'm not even going to say we'll manipulate, because none of us are manipulative, right? None of us going to manipulate to avoid being vulnerable, are we? We're not going to do that. All right? We will people please. We will literally people please to gain self-worth, to make to want to feel good, want to feel better. And we'll just become angry people. We'll become angry. Why? Because there's no healthy outlet. All right. This is why healing matters. So how are we going to begin to heal this week? It's Meal Prep Monday. What are we going to do? First of all, you got to be honest and acknowledge. Can we just be honest today and acknowledge that we have emotional wounds? Can we just acknowledge today that in this journey, we've been disappointed, we've been rejected, we've been hurt, we didn't get what we felt like we wanted to get? Y'all don't have to go as far as me, but for me, I had to admit that I was mad at God. All right. And in myself, I had to forgive him. Nicole, what? Yes. Y'all, listen, I don't know about y'all, but I just know about me. All right. God offended me and I had to forgive him. It's how I felt. It's what I felt. It's what I needed. Okay. I'm not a heathen or a whoremonger, I promise you. But that's what you need to do. You got to be able to acknowledge. All right? Acknowledge wounds. Honestly, that was a wound for me. How can I serve one that I'm offended by? All right, all right. So healing begins with honesty. David even says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart." All right. So how do we do this? Ask yourself, what hurt you? What hurt me? When you think of somebody and your thoughts aren't always nice, what hurt me? Why am I hurt by this person? What was the situation? You thinking about a situation? What in the situation really hurt you? Because there's always something deeper. It's never what we go through. Okay? Ask yourself, what patterns do I keep repeating? out of a defense mechanism. What patterns do I keep repeating in survival mode? What pattern in survival mode? What triggers me? Y'all, I do not like to repeat myself. It just does something to me because I feel like, and this is something I had to recognize because of the rejection I have felt in my life. I don't like to repeat myself because then I feel like I take it very personal. Okay. I take it very personal because I feel like people don't listen to me. But when you going through something, when you need someone to hick 'em a shy, spit in someone's face, pull you out of hell, then y'all want to call me to do all this stuff. But in just regular conversation, like I'm having to tell Jaden, because I'll say, Jaden, take the bag and go put it in the room, and he'll put it in the living room. Bruh. So now I'm having to say to Jaden, listen to my words. Jaden, listen to my words. That's a trigger for me. So ask yourself, what triggers me? This is the good one. This is the one I want you to. What lie did I start believing because of pain? What lie did I start believing? Nobody loves me. That's a lie I started believing because of pain. Nobody cares. I'm not going to share this with anyone because nobody cares. Y'all, I'm graduating. I'm 53 and I'm receiving my first degree. Because it's my first degree and it's just an associate's, I didn't want to share with anyone. Nobody cares. What lie? Okay? You got to begin to recognize the lies that you start believing out of pain. Why did I believe no one would care? Because my self-image is whack in certain areas still. It comes from rejection. You got to be able to do that, right? Why are we doing this? It ain't to walk around hurtful. You need to know that awareness is what breaks denial. Okay? When you can become aware of something, you can break the denial of it. You can break yourself out of denial. Yes, we're in denial in some areas of our life. We also have to stop normalizing dysfunction. Most of us have lived chaotic for so long, or you just so busy that when it slows down, you're like, I don't know what to do. I can't sit still. What's going on? It's because we have come to a point where sometimes there's so much chaos, we've normalized dysfunction. This week, while you're doing this and you recognize what's dysfunctional, stop normalizing it. See it for what it is, okay? What do I mean by that? I'm looking at what I wrote. You know how, like, sometimes we'll be like, that's just how I am. That's just how they are. Don't worry about it. That's just them. No. If you do that anywhere for yourself or towards someone, you have to realize, or you have to come to understand, am I doing this because of unhealed survival patterns? Sometimes you dealing with folk, you got too many people close to you that are not healthy for you. You know that situation, you know that relationship, that friendship, that whatever is not healthy. And instead of wanting to deal with the unhealthiness of it, because maybe it's someone you've known for a long time. Maybe it's someone you got love for, right? You'll just be like, oh, that's just how they are. That's just how Nicole is. Don't worry. That's just how she is. No, maybe how I am ain't healthy for you. And if it's not, you better fall back. Okay? We will sometimes keep people and things around us because we have unhealthy or unhealed survival modes, patterns. Okay? You got to recognize these things. Healthy people learn to say, that reaction was not okay. What I just did was not right. Okay? Healthy people will learn to say, when you come into awareness, I need healing. When I'm ready to black out on Jaden because as a courtesy, he bringing my bag from the car, and because he didn't walk it all the way back in the room, I'm ready to black out. I need healing. Okay? That is my trigger. Little boy, the bag, anyone who know me, I'm the bag lady. Bag heavier, way more than he do. He just struggling to bring it in the house, and I want to trip because he left it at the door and he didn't take it in the room because my trigger is people don't listen to me. Okay? You gotta be able to recognize these things with yourself and acknowledge, I need healing. I need accountability. We on this meal plan mindset call for years. I need accountability. I've been wounded, I've been hurt, but I don't want to hurt people. These are things you have to be able to say. Why? Because your words have power. Okay? So it's 10:29. What do I want to leave you with? Also, renew the mind. You know, our anchor has been Romans 12:2. So this week, while you're doing this, renew your mind. All right? Transformation requires mental reconstructing. All right? That's why we have the neural pathways, the neuroplasticity. You know, we talk about that. Renew your mind. To transform it, it's the repetition and it's the consistency. It's the willingness to be mature enough to see the places where we hurt people, because hurting people hurt people. So we got to recognize where we hurt one another, and we got to be willing to do the hard work. The hard work is the hard work because you got to dig these things out. You got to be willing to look at yourself in a mirror. Okay? So, mindset. You got to identify the distorted thinking, the education part. You're going to learn truth and emotional health, accountability. You're going to allow your accountability group to correct and support you. And your lifestyle, we're going to practice healing consistently. All right? So, it's Meal Prep Monday. I know that was a whole lot in a little bit of time. Forgive me for being delayed today. It's just Monday. It's one of them days I got to get back into Cairo steps today. But stay focused, stay humble, stay positive. Be the best version of you unapologetically because no one else can do it. All right? And you are relevant, you are necessary, you are needed, not just to your friend, family, and enemies, but to this journey, to this world. Your name is relevant, it is important, and it is necessary. Okay? So I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.